Okay, so we're back here in Headington Hill Park, ready for round 2 in super sunny Oxford today. It's 28 degrees. So hot, in fact, I might have to get the titties out.
What did he say?
But yeah, we're back to get your muscle ups to the next level. I really wanted to make a video to progress your muscle ups further. So today I'm going to talk to you about learning new variations, adding weight, and just some techniques that you can follow to clean up your muscle ups as much as possible. Okay, so I'm just going to get the simple, straightforward stuff out of the way first. First thing you want to do is start to add weight to your muscle ups. For obvious reasons, that's going to make your body weight muscle ups a lot easier. So I've got a super lightweight with me here today, just for demonstration purposes. But even 2.5 kilos is going to make a difference after a while. I've got a very cheap belt with me here today. So this belt cost me probably about a tenner off Amazon, and it will do the job, especially at the start. It's really not that important. The only thing with these cheap belts is that the weight will start to swing around a lot. It's not going to be super tight. They're probably not designed with this in mind. It's more for things like dips or pull-ups and stuff. So bear that in mind. But yeah, it's not a biggie. The other thing to think about as well is that now that you've got some weight on you, it's not ideal to jump to the bar. You're going to need like a step or something to get up there first and step off of, and then do the muscle up to be training adequately. But with 2.5 kilos, I should be able to get onto the bar anyway. So the next thing I want to talk about is building your basics further. I know I talked about that in my last video, but even now when you can do muscle ups, it's still super important to focus on basics, because that is where all the good stuff will come from. If you've got a really solid base, you can progress a lot quicker. One exercise that I like to do is to just mix muscle ups and pull ups and dips all together in one set. It might look something like this. I think it's important to still focus on being straight and hollow as possible. So you can practice that just with your dead hangs, like this. Just focusing on being as straight and hollow as possible. And the same when you pull up. So you want to focus on having this kind of movement, opposed to maybe how you were doing before when you were learning muscle up, which is, pulling up and then doing the dip afterwards. You now want to kind of focus on keeping your arms a bit straighter, just going up like that, so your body's completely straight. So now I'm going to demonstrate a few different variations that you might want to try. On this grip. So with the close grip muscle up, you're going for it the same way that you would a normal one. I think it just requires a lot more tricep strength. So you can build that up with dips, obviously, or tricep extensions. And just making your normal muscle ups cleaner, you'll get the close grip in no time. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is a supinated muscle up, which is basically a chin up version of a muscle up, just the opposite way around. So as you can see, mine are not super clean yet, but I still think it's good practice. Good practice to build more explosive power, adds fun to your training as well. It's just a lot more difficult to have a straighter kind of motion because you're here, and when the bar's here, you're now having to, you know, do a much more uncomfortable position, but still a fun one to try nonetheless. Working towards that supinated muscle up, I think the biggest thing is just going to be practicing super high chin-ups, and it's just going to give you the power to do it. Similar to when you're just starting with the muscle ups, you know, you just want to focus on getting your weight onto the bar, and it's just the opposite version of a straight bar dip, or opposite grip I should say. Just push yourself up. So the last one I'm going to show you is just, I guess you could call it a switch grip. I don't actually know the technical term for it, but it's very straightforward. One hand over, one hand under. Like so. So, final two things I want to talk about. Wrist wraps. Definitely help me a lot, especially sometimes when you can accidentally overtrain your wrists. You know, you'll find them to be quite painful when training muscle ups, especially supinated, for example. So just invest in some wrist wraps. They cost literally nothing, and they make a big difference, even just for peace of mind. You know, now I know that there's less chance of me injuring myself, and I think they just help you to focus on the other aspects of the muscle up as well, because, you know, this part you just feel a lot more secure. And the last thing I want to talk about is that, you know, one thing that I like to progress is my total muscle ups. Like, how many muscle ups can I actually do in a row? I'm currently sitting on 11, but when you start to work on these kind of things, it's no longer, well, it is muscular strength, but it's also muscular endurance. So it's definitely worth considering to take up, you know, more cardio. Doing more cardio is going to do wonders for you, because at that point, when you're busting out that many reps, it is cardio. So think about your workout routine, and are you doing enough cardio to kind of hit those kind of numbers, if that's something that you want to do. So I hope you found those tips useful. I think the last thing I'm just going to say is that patience is really important with muscle ups. You know, when I learnt my first one, it was so exciting, and I wanted to train them again and again and again. But it is a really long journey, as the same with anything in calisthenics. So just enjoy it, make your training fun, you know, vary up the training methods. Sometimes train the skill side, like, you know, a different variation like supinated. Sometimes, you know, throw in some basics at the same time. Just make the whole process more enjoyable, and you'll get more gains from it. Think about your end goal, you know, do you want to do the most muscle ups ever, or do you want to do clapping muscle up or something, you know, and structure your training to that. Yeah, that's all I got to say on it. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.